Welcome everybody to the second episode of Aces Full of Food. We have the one, the only Michael Younan from Chicago. Um, Welcome. First of all, bud, I want to congratulate you on your retirement from Chicago PD. Good stuff. Guys, Mike has been playing poker since '07 on Pokerstars. He reached supernova status. He has a total live earnings of $470,328. That is just on a part-time basis. And I was talking to him before the show, and I was telling him how impressive that actually really is. Um, Mike, how's it going, bud? How you been?
Good, man. Retirement life is great. Um, yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah, good to be here. Ready to answer some questions. Ready to give some stories. Maybe we'll see.
All right, dude. Awesome. So talk to us. How did '07? How did you get started in poker? Why did you start poker? All that good stuff. Give us the deets.
Kind of crazy because so my family, like my dad, is kind of big into poker, but their style of poker. So it was pretty weird. He'd have home games, but it was like quarter antes. It was a really weird type of game where they called basically the game they wanted to play, and there was a bunch of like wilds in the play. So you would have like a deuces are wild or fours are wild. They'd make up all these rules and different types of basically poker games. That we, 5 card stud, but a different variation with wilds and stuff like that. And I would always watch them as a kid. So my uncles would come by, a bunch of his friends, and I would just sit there and watch him. And I was probably, 10 years old, 11 years old, and I'd just watch him. And my dad would always shoo me away. He's like, go ahead, you're too young for this. Get out of here. We're this is for adults. And I'd always sneak my way back and watch him some more. And it was just really interesting. And I liked it as a young kid at like 10 or 11.
All right. So when you first started and you got onto PokerStars, were you crushing, or how did that go when you first got going?
No, man. Actually, so I would play a little bit of home games amongst friends, amongst family and stuff like that, and I kind of was winning in these home games, but very very small stakes. We're talking, $5 buy-in tournaments, and they weren't run like tournaments were. I mean, they were probably 5 minute, 10 minute levels, and it was a different style of poker. Let me say that. But yeah, I was winning like really small, and I saw a commercial, or I don't know what it was on the internet. I can't remember where I saw it, but it was about poker stars, and I'm like, huh, this is interesting. Let me try to dabble here and play some online poker. So um you know I deposited, my first time, and let me say something. Like, I deposited in '07, and I think it was $100, and I honestly have never deposited on Poker Stars again after that. So it was my initial $100. Um, I hit a decent score, a couple of decent scores early on, nothing big, but at the time for me, like, $100 win was a lot because you're $100 bankroll, right? So I doubled my bankroll right there. So, from there, I've always been a nit when it comes to bankroll.
I
So
know
that's
the
why I
same way.
never, yeah, that's why I never went bust, man. Honestly, I never deposited after my initial $100, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. You don't hear that. You hear the typical man. I put $100 on there. I went bust, put another 100, and it took me a couple, but I finally got it. But that's awesome, dude. That's a good story. And then you had your regular job to help offset if you ever had a bad week or whatever like that. So were you already a cop when you started playing poker, or did it go kind of start the same? How did that work?
No, so I was a cop already. I was a cop in '01. So I've been a cop for 6 years when I started to play, and like I said, just my initial $100. I loved the game. Started grinding, probably in '09, I believe, or yeah, in '09 I became a supernova. I was grinding a lot, especially for a part-time guy, because I had work full time, and a police officer's schedule is all over the place, especially in Chicago. you're getting OT, you're getting last minute, oh, you got to work this day when you were originally off. And so all the free time that I had, honestly, was on Pokerstars. I was just grinding my ass off. I was playing cash. I was playing tournaments, and I reached that supernova status, which was, they give you a lot of points, a lot of, I forgot exactly, but you get a little bit of extra stuff because you're a supernova on stars.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I first started, um, and I thought I want to be a supernova elite. And dude, it was so hard to get to that supernova and supernova elite status. It was crazy. But I always told myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I wish now we had that in the position I'm in now, because I definitely would have done it. But back then when I was grinding the 110 $1,000 guaranteed tournament, they didn't have any of that. And it was tough. Now going transitioning '07, you did all you started playing Pokerstars. What happened Black Friday type? What did you transition to American sites? What did you do?
So, I built up my bankroll on stars and full tilt, I should say both, because I played in both. Um, Built a decent sized bankroll, honestly. And my whole bankroll, poker bankroll was on the sites, on full tilt and on stars.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
So at the time of Black Friday, I'll never forget. I had like 23,000 on Pokerstars, and I had roughly like 7,000, I believe, on full tilt. And I went to log on, or I don't remember how I saw it, but then I saw like Black Friday, everything's like you can't log in, you can't cash out. And I was like, holy shit, I was devastated, because I'm like, damn, everything I worked for, for the last 4 years or whatever it was is gone, man. Like all the, it's like 30 some $1,000 that I worked really hard to get to is completely gone. And I was like, honestly lost. I'm like, man, what happens now? I got to start from scratch again. Not that, my poker money was always separate from my bills and my income that I earned from work. I never mixed the two. So even though I could still start from scratch again because I had a job, it was just heartbreaking because I worked so hard to build up that poker bankroll.
Of course, and 30,000 for a poker bankroll, if you're not a poker player, that's a lot of money, especially from you that started from 100. You know what I mean? That's a that's a significant amount, and it's a blow, because I mean, like you said, you had your job and you had other money, but for it to be frozen per se, I mean that has to be a good punch in the gut. You know what I mean?
Oh, it sucked, man. I was grinding 12 180s. If anybody knows, back in the day, like
Oh,
PokerStars had $12
hun-
180 mans, and I grinded those like crazy and built up my bankroll. And dude, it sucked. I was just scrambling for answers. I'm like, what can I do now? I'm looking at 2+2. I'm looking everywhere for answers now. How can I get my money out? So
dude, that's crazy. I still remember that day. I hadn't logged off from the night before. So my screen was still on and I was able to sign up for stuff still on full tilt. I remember that day clearly. So it was a crazy day. And then when I finally signed out, that's it. I was done. I got the notice and all that other good stuff. So then Black Friday, you start transitioning to live, because I see a lot of your live stuff started coming in towards that time period, that time frame. And was it a big difference for you? How did it go? Talk to us about that.
So I didn't transition immediately. I was still kind of, searching for answers and to see what was going to go on with my money that was still stuck there. Fortunately, as we know, we eventually got paid. Stars, I believe, did not take that long to get us paid. So I believe I took out two different increments of like 11 or 12,000 a piece, and I eventually got paid. So from there, one of my coworkers introduced me to a home game. It was a cash home game. It was very juicy. Um, it was ran by a very, very wealthy lawyer who's a friend of mine now, um, in a very affluent suburb here in the Chicagoland area. I eventually started to go to this game every Friday, and it was a 2-5 game. Wasn't anything big, but the way this game played was insanity, man. Like, guys getting drunk, guys that had a lot of money, and just, I mean, a crazy style of poker. Like these guys are getting it in with third pair for, $3,000. Like they don't care. These guys, the money didn't really mean much to them. And, I won a lot of money in that home game through a period of about a year and a half or two. Every Friday, I can probably count on one hand how many losing sessions I had there. That's how bad these players were. But yeah, I mean, that built a big part of my bankroll too. So from there, I started playing a little cash at Hammond Horseshoe in Hammond, Indiana. And I've started to meet a couple people. I met a good friend of mine that's still a friend of mine now. His name is Joe. He was playing cash. He kind of like started talking a lot, became friends, and he kind of told me, who in the room were fishes, who were the good players to stay away from. So it was a lot of valuable information from him. Yeah, I mean, I just started playing cash initially. No tournaments, just cash.
And now, do you prefer cash or tournament? What's your go-to? What would you say if you had to only play one for the rest of your life? What are you playing?
Yeah, I'm playing tournaments for sure because I fell in love with them. But I mean, I like cash, and cash is always good to build a bankroll. But I love tournaments. I love the rush of getting deep and stuff.
It's so much fun, dude. That chasing that first place, knowing there's only one winner and you can be that one winner, is one of the greatest feelings. All
Yep.
right, so now you start playing cash. When does the tournament bug kick in and you start crushing the live stuff?
So I think I played my first tournaments were in 2011, and they were also at the Horseshoe Hammond in Indiana, the casino there. And I played. I believe my very first series there was the Chicago Poker Classic. And if you look on my Hendon Mob, you can see my very first cash was there. It was a 356 max. I got 26th. I was so, I mean, I was so happy, dude. Like it was crazy the feeling you have when you cash your very first live tournament, because I think everybody probably has it, right?
Of
When you
course.
cash your very first live tournament, I was so happy I got it. I was probably, God knows, I don't remember, but I was probably extremely tight on the bubble. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I have to get in the money. So yeah,
Dude,
that
that's
was my first cash. And then shortly thereafter, I played in a circuit event at Horseshoe Hammond. And I still remember this because um, you know, it was probably in 20, well, actually it was 2 years later. Well, let me go back, sorry, because this is very important. So a year later, a little less than a year later, in 2012, you could see on my Hendon Mob, I won a first place on a $200 turbo, and it paid 81.84. But the story behind that is amazing, dude. Like,
Let me
so
hear it. Talk to me.
this is a turbo I'm playing, and we're down to about 60 people, and I want to say we were already in the money. I can't remember, but um, I play a hand, and it's kind of like a cooler. I think it was like ace king against tens. I get it in pre-flop, and I lose the hand, and I'm down to half of an ante, not
Was
even a full ante.
That's great because back then Annies were taken per person instead of the
Yes,
big blind.
yes,
Yes. Okay.
correct. So I'm half of an ante here. So I'm all in, obviously, the next hand because I only have half an ante. I win the hand. I scoop up. Whatever. The very next hand, I'm all in again. I like double or triple, but I still only have like 3 or 4 big blinds, right? The very next hand, I got deuces. I still remember, and I push it all in, and I get called 4-way, and I think the hands were all like ace jack, ace king, or I can't remember the hands, but I hold like with deuces. It was like incredible.
That's insane.
And then I go on to win the whole fucking tournament, dude. I had half an ante with like 60 people left.
So
And
the epitome of chip in a chair. You've lived it.
that was there, guaranteed. That was a chip in a chair. I'll always believe it after that point because I won the whole thing, and it was $8,000 at the time, was a lot of money to me. And I'm like, wow. I
Was that
remember,
your biggest score between live and online at the time? Or
yes. I remember coming home. It was really late at night. My wife was sleeping. We had one kid at the time. He was probably a year old. And I woke her up. I was so damn happy. And it was late. This is like probably 3 in the morning. And I had like $8,000 in my hand. And I woke her up and I threw it on the bed.
No way.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah,
That is awesome.
She woke up laughing, like happy for me because obviously I won and I was happy. So
little did she know that was just a start of what was to come.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yep.
Take us to your biggest score. How did that happen?
So I'll go to my very first biggest score, and that was in 2013. It was the circuit event in Hammond. I put a package up to sell, and I wasn't very good at the time, to be honest. But I put up a package to sell, and my friend Joe, he like, I'll buy 50% of the whole thing. So I was only selling 50. He buys this package, 50%. So he has half my action, and it's a 365 circuit event, and first place was over 100K.
That's crazy for 365.
Yeah, it was 110,000. There was 2,500 people in that thing, and end of day one, we go to the final. End of day one. End of day two. There's 10 of us left, and I'm the chip leader going to the third day. Get to the final table. I eventually get third for 52,000, which was huge. I mean, that was my whole bankroll basically at the time. And obviously I take home 26 because half of it was my buddy Joe's. And yeah, I mean, that was like a huge like lift.
Catapult. Yeah.
Catapult, confidence booster, whatever you want to call it. So it was my first actual 5-figure score ever.
That's awesome, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah. So from there, my biggest year was 2015. I played a little more in that year. I studied probably more. I started getting a little better. I won a tournament at the Chicago Poker Classic for 28,000. 5 or 6 months later, I played in the HPT event in East Chicago. I made the final table. I was chip leader. I kind of made a huge mistake being the chip leader, trying to put pressure on the small and big blind. I had like ace 2, I remember, and I had a decent sized stack, but nothing really deep. And I shoved it, putting pressure on guys with like between 15 and 18 big blinds, I believe. And the big blind like tanked forever and called me with ace king. Like he was
such a nit roll.
Well, they were scared too. It was probably his biggest score, and whatever. I went on to get fourth for 40,000. But then like a couple of months after that, I played in a circuit again in Hammond. I played in the main event. And I got fourth again for 123,000. So
holy smokes. So 2015 was good.
Yeah, it was good. And there's a story behind that 123,000, which is really funny. We're four-handed and I'm second in chips. And what is his name? Let me look him up. Joe Kuther, who's a really good player.
Oh, yeah. He's
very known guy from Wisconsin. Very, very good player. And
he got second in that.
Yeah, so we're four-handed and he's fourth in chips. I'm in the small blind and I looked down at ace king and he's been kind of aggressive. But now that he was kind of short, really, he couldn't be. I think he had like 18 big blinds at the time. I limped the small blind with ace king, and he shoves from the big blind with king queen, which wouldn't matter. He was going to shove whether I raised or did whatever. But he shoves, and I call, and it comes jack 10x, and he slams the ace on the turn, and I was drawing to a chop, but I bricked. I got short. And then the crazy thing is, sometimes when we say something's meant to be, it's meant to be, because the guy that was in third got it in against the very next hand, got it in against Kuther, ace queen against ace king, and it becomes a double paired board, and they chop, so he doesn't bust. So
wow, that's crazy.
Couple of hands later, I get it in ace 9 against pocket threes against the guy that won it all, and I didn't win it, and I got 123,000 instead of
356,
possibly at least 220. Probably if I win that hand against Joe, I'm probably going to get at least second. I was going to be chip leader, but I would have at minimum got second at that point.
Dude, that's crazy. Looking over this list, there's some pretty notable people playing in that tournament.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of notable people. At the time, I didn't know a lot of these. Like Kelly Minkin was there. Um, this Peter Vitantonio guy I played with
Thomas
him for.
Coral.
Kevin Saul, who's below and above online, he was
Yeah.
there. Robert, who's a known player, was there. I mean, there's a lot of good players on this final table.
isn't what's his name? Robert Kuhn. Isn't that the guy from EPC? The
Yes,
Elite Poker Coaching?
I want to say that's him. I'm not
I'm
sure.
pretty sure it's him.
Yeah. So yeah, he was
Yeah,
on.
it is him. That's crazy, dude. That's a stacked field.
And even Christoph, the guy was is actually a really good player. He became a friend of mine. We kind of like became friends, and when we see each other, say hi. But yeah, even that guy is a really good player. So
Okay, now let's shift. Poker, you're killing it. You're doing well. When does MMA come into play? How does that
MM,
come?
I've always loved MMA. I mean, I've watched it since the Pride days. We're talking 20 years ago, maybe more. So, I did a little boxing when I was younger, so I always liked combat sports and I loved MMA. I loved boxing, to be honest, initially, but then kind of fell out of love with it because of all the stuff that goes on behind the scene in boxing
For
and
sure.
all the bullshit judging and stuff like that. So kind of started watching MMA more and I fell in love with MMA. Um, Started betting it kind of more serious in 2020 and eventually, got my own podcast and started doing a betting podcast with MMA.
Yeah,
Um,
for those of you watching, it's the Lambo Place podcast every Friday at 9 p.m. And I have personally seen the man dissect an MMA card and just make piles of cash. And if you all are into betting and into watching MMA, I think it's a good balance of some people want to bet MMA because they like to watch the fights because they're super entertaining. So it gives a good balance, and you put a little money on it, adds a little extra incentive. Honestly, Mike NarcoCop is one of the best, if not the best person to talk about it. The guy's sick. The guy, he his best, my favorite things. He sends me bets sometimes, but they're not I like the plus 2000s, the plus I like the fun prop bet. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, my show is all about prop bets. Like that Lambo Place podcast, we only give like plus 300 or better. That's all we give. And we like a couple of weeks ago, we hit a plus 2,800 and a plus 1,800. That was called out
So
on that show. So, but yeah, I'm not the best. Thank you for the nice comments, but I'm not the best. There's many more better people than I am, but I do know what I'm kind of betting on. I do watch a lot of tape, spend a lot of time on this stuff. So I love it though. Now that I'm retired, I get to do it with at my own leisure. So,
what's your week look like building up to a fight?
building up to a fight card, I kind of usually try to dig into tape Monday because usually these cards have anywhere between 10 to 15 fights. So when you're watching tape on both guys, both the opponent and the other guy that they're facing. So, um, I try to start on Monday. I'll tape, maybe 3 to 4 fights because it's time consuming. And then I try to slowly build up until Friday when I try to finish it off after weigh-ins. So I try to finalize my bets by Friday, but I do get if I see line value, then I do get in early on certain bets.
Did you ever think your love of poker and MMA would lead you to where you're at now?
Um, Poker, yes, because I loved it and I played it and it made me money. Like at the end of the day, it made a lot of money. MMA, I didn't think I was ever gonna, do a podcast and give out bets and stuff, but I watched a lot of my friends in the MMA community and kind of got inspired by some, and I was like, hey, why not give this a shot? I know what I'm looking at. I pretty much know if who should be favored and who should be and where the line should be. So yeah, I took my shot and kind of grew from there. I think I have a little over 500 subscribers now and just trying to grow it, man.
Dude, that's awesome, bro. I remember you talking about starting a YouTube channel and all that stuff, and to see where you're at. I love to see like my friends be super successful at stuff, and I consider you probably one of my better poker friends. The way I mean, we've known each other for it's been a while now.
A long
It's
time.
a long time. I trip out. Even my wife knows when we're talking on the phone. She's like, "Oh, I know that was Mike because you all talked for a long time." And I was like, "Yeah, of course." I mean, we don't talk for a few weeks and we just catch up on everything, and then it just keeps going.
Yeah.
All right, man. So this podcast is called Aces Full of Food. I'm a big guy. I love food. This is why I came up with this concept.
You don't have to tell me twice.
You've seen me, you know. So we're gonna get into the meat and the potatoes of this podcast. All right. No pun intended. All right. So first question. Are you a let's eat out or let's cook in type of person?
Well, I used to be a let's eat out. I recently we've been a let's cook in because my wife kind of got, she became a lot better at cooking just in general over the last couple of years. And it's the truth. And she's been like fire in the kitchen lately. And for the last like couple of years, she likes cooking, she enjoys it, and she's like does an amazing job. So
That's
it's
awesome.
basically been let's eat in for the
So
most.
do you cook though?
Yeah, I enjoy cooking myself. Like I love it. My wife always says, like, I'm really good at marinating stuff and kind of making like, marinating the meat or whatever it is.
Whoa, this is
I'm
hey,
really
this is a PG-13 podcast, Mike. Settle down, all right? We can't be talking about marinating meats on here and stuff.
listen, we're talking about real meat here, real steaks. Yeah, no, I'm, the marinating part I'm good at. I'm really good at. She does the actual cooking or grilling or whatever you want to call it.
So my wife, she's probably gonna kill me, but she made some. She's not a cook per se, but she made some killer pancakes for Easter, dude. I like them. They're really really good.
Good,
Are
good. Yeah.
you a are you
It's
a picky eater?
Yes, very picky, dude. Everybody says that about me.
Oh no!
They
All
hate me
right,
because of that.
what what are your do not touch? What won't you eat?
Seafood, for the most part, like fish, basically fish.
Shrimp?
Any shrimp I like shrimp, but not like shrimp cocktail or raw shrimp. I can't eat that.
Well, shrimp cocktail's not raw.
Well, like boiled. I can't eat it boiled either. Like I need it like fried or grilled or stuff like that.
What is the thing that you don't like about it?
I think like the very first thing that catches me is this: if it has like that,
Weird fishy smell?
yeah, I'm done. I'm immediately done.
Are
So
you serious?
yeah, I can't. I'm a smell first, eat second type of guy. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, 100%. I mean,
If it doesn't smell good, I'm not eating it.
I'm gonna be 100%. I'm the pickiest, fattest eater, the fattest guy you're ever gonna meet.
Really?
Yeah. If it smells weird, I just got it. My wife brought me Chipotle the other day, and it smelled extremely weird. I didn't eat it, and she
Yeah,
was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "It smells weird. Like I can't do this."
I'm
Like,
the same way.
bro, it's yeah. So, wow, fish. I would have known.
Yeah,
So, if
I
what
do
would
like
be a price?
I do like fish on the table, on the poker table, but I don't like fish. Like,
Damn, that was a good plug. I like it. That was a good one. Are you a tilt eater, Mike?
what do you mean by tilt eater?
Like if you
If I'm
bust
on
a
tilt,
tournament, yeah, if you
no,
bust a tournament,
nah. I'm honestly way over that. Like,
stage in your career.
yeah, like being like, oh man, like feeling bad for myself whenever, because I know going into a tournament, like I'm gonna bust before the money or whatever 90% of the time, like whatever. I already know.
Okay, is it more tilting for you to bust a tournament or to lose a big bet in MMA?
Probably lose a big bet in MMA because in a tournament, I'm like, whatever. I know it's gonna happen. So it's like I go into a tournament knowing that I'm gonna bust most of the time. But in betting MMA, I'm like more confident that I'm going to win a majority of the time. So
Okay, so walk me through an MMA Saturday. What are you ordering? What's at the house? Do you do anything special with your group of guys?
so my wife knows, like, it sucks, but my wife knows, like, on Saturday we can't do anything when the UFC is on. So um I have a pretty nice setup down here. I usually watch it alone. Sometimes my nephew comes by, but recently we've been going with one of my good friends, Eddie, who's also a poker player, a high stakes PLO player. We go to Rivers Casino, and they get this private back room, and we watch it there, man. We order food, Hugo's Frog Bar, and yeah, we eat, we gamble, we watch it.
So they take care of you guys at Rivers.
We cry together, we laugh together. So yeah, they take care of us because of them.
That's crazy cool. So what's like your favorite kind of finger food like that you order there? I'm sure it's like bar food, correct?
Yeah, no, Hugo's Frog Bar is like a steakhouse slash seafood house, but we don't always order from there because sometimes it takes forever. But yeah, they have they have like a steak nachos that's actually really good, and chicken nachos, whatever you want to get. But yeah, those are pretty good for finger food.
Damn, I like that. I like that. All right. Back in your day, would you ever let your win, like your cash game or tournament wins, dictate what you're going to eat for that day?
Yeah. I mean, if I won a good amount of money or I won like a tournament, I would, yeah, definitely like the next day or whatever, we're going out to a nice steakhouse or something,
For
So,
sure.
yeah. So it's always like a big win, whether it be in cash or like tournament, obviously more because it's obviously a way bigger score. But like if I had a good cash session, yeah, I'm probably eating at something nice. But if I had won a tournament, we're going high end.
Definitely. That's the best part. I think my wife loves that. I think she likes the fact that she knows if I have a good week in poker, sports betting, she knows it's either we're going to go eat great or she's getting something. You know what I mean? That's the
Right.
that's the best, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my wife got something really good after my 120K score. She got a brand new car ordered for her. So
No way.
yeah. And the best part is she didn't even know. And I ordered it once they delivered it. Like I think they delivered it like 4 months later or something. I had put a bow on it and everything, drove it up to the front of the house. She didn't even know. I came in and I said to her, "Hey, can you go see what's that in the backyard or something?" I forgot the excuse I gave her to make her go out the house so she could see the car. So she walks out. The car is right in front. She doesn't pay attention, turns right and starts walking without seeing the car, and then kind of like gives a glance back to see like whose car is that, and she sees the ball on the car and she knew it was hers. It was crazy.
Look, we have a question, a
Uh-oh.
statement from my wife. She put, "Oh no, I'm going to need a new car on your next big." Uh-oh, this podcast is costing me way more money than I.
Yeah, so that's what happened. It was great. She started crying. It was great to see it, honestly. But
Dude, that's awesome.
she deserved the new car anyways. She was gonna get it regardless, but it just made it way easier.
And it feels like you feel a lot cooler saying, I got it with my poker money."
Exactly.
All right, are you a snack eater at the poker table?
Not really. I don't like because like it's really dirty, like your hands, the cards, the chips, and now you're like sticking your hand into other snacks. Yeah, I don't really do it. I do it on breaks. Like I'll have a bar. Like used to always have a protein bar with me, but yeah, I don't like eating snacks on the table.
D- Do you, when you bag, are you like during dinner break, are you a big eat kind of guy, or do you wait till you bag or bust to eat after the tournament?
I learned I learned not to eat big on my dinner break. Put it
I'm,
that way.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I know what you're getting at, but we're gonna leave it at that. But all right, when you play tournaments, are you looking like, is it a quick? Do you get with friends, go out to eat, or do you like to sit by yourself, enjoy a meal during dinner breaks?
No, I'm usually with friends. Like most of them are, most of the tournaments I play are local. So I have a lot of friends around here. So it's usually with friends. We either go like to the 7-star lounge or, you know, we eat together for the most part. Yeah, it's
Yeah, for
almost
sure.
always with friends.
Are you excited for the WSOP coming up?
I actually am. I'm moving. Like I think I'm moving out from Chicago to Arizona. So the move is coming at the end of the month. I'm sorry, at the end of May. And the wife and the kids are leaving at the end of May. I'm gonna go shortly thereafter after I sell my house. But so I really don't know the timing of when I'm gonna be in Vegas, but I'm going for sure because I missed it. I mean, I've played one tournament since the end of 2019.
That is crazy, dude. Are you excited for the move from Rio to Bally's at all? What do you think?
I don't know what to think of it because have you seen what it looks like inside? I
I
don't know.
haven't.
The setup, whatever, Rio's, it's a terrible hotel. I'm gonna say that. It's just dirty. It's not really a good maintained hotel, but the setup was actually pretty good there.
Yeah, it was spread out nice. There's a lot of
Very nice.
space, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Now, I am excited for dinner breaks because there's going to be a lot more options on the strip. It is going to be it is going to be a little bit of a cluster, but I think it'll allow for better dinner breaks. And besides winning poker tournaments, having good food is probably on my list of things that I love to do. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be good for that and all that good stuff. Um, Chicago, you giving me, Mike, great advice in poker. You've helped my career. You've coached me. You've helped me in MMA. But I think probably one of the best advice you ever gave me and my wife was to go eat at that burger place. You know what you're talking about? Small.
Oh, Small Cheval.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's top two advice you've ever given me in life is to go eat there when me and my wife went there. Dude, it was so good.
So when you're a police officer, you eat out a lot because you're out on the streets, you know all the spots. Um, um, if you see a lot of police officers in front of a restaurant and they're in there,
It's
it's
good.
probably a good restaurant. I'm just telling you.
That's awesome, dude.
Because they're kind of picky when it comes to like eating and the fact that you kind of have to be cautious as a police officer where you eat. Honestly, it's a truth. Because if people hate you and they don't like the police in general, it's scary that they can taint with your food because of who you are or what you do as your occupation. You could be the best person, but because you're wearing that uniform, it happens. And I've seen it happen with my own two eyes to officers that I don't even want to mention the stories. But so with those two things, they're really cautious where they eat. And if there is a bunch of cars in front of a place, it's probably really good.
What are your go-to spots in Chicago now that you're retired that you can go in and be like, damn, I wanted to come try this, but I was a cop, couldn't do it now?
Oh, I mean, I always tried stuff after the fact, like eating.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Luminati's. I always go there. I have one really close to the house. It's a pizza place, deep dish for anybody that doesn't know. Really good. There are so many spots here, man. I like
What about hot dogs? I know Chicago is also kind of a hot.
Gene and Jude's is the best. It's a drive from me. It's about 35 minutes from where I live. But if I'm in the area, Gene and Jude's is by far the best hot dogs.
Gene and Jude's.
Write that down because it's amazing.
It's getting written for sure.
Yep.
Gene and Jude's is getting written down. I hope my
Yep.
wife's watching so she can know because we are definitely going back to Chicago. We love the food.
Yeah, that's an amazing place for hot dogs.
So Luminati's is your favorite deep dish?
Yep. By far.
Do you prefer New York or Chicago?
Yeah, New York. I mean, I'm sorry, Chicago.
New York came out.
New York is not good. I don't like New York pizza.
Are you a cheese pepperoni or a?
No, I'm a sausage pepperoni mushroom.
Ooh, I like that combination. I won't eat it. I'm not a big mushroom guy, but the sausage pepperoni, I've been getting into that lately, dude.
Yeah.
Dude. All right, so I know you're a Vikings fan.
Yep.
When you go to the Vikings to go watch them play, are you a let me eat at the park, let me eat at the ballpark, let me eat at the stadium type guy?
So I've been there once in the new stadium. I didn't eat at the park because we tailgated before. I had a bunch of friends there. We had a huge tailgate and we ate prior to getting in, but I think we might have had like a nachos or something. But yeah, I'm not really familiar with how good their food is or anything at the Viking Stadium.
What about at your house? Do y'all barbecue? Do you like to barbecue?
Talking about barbecue, my wife just barbecued about 20 minutes ago. So
Really?
we grill a lot. We grill even when it's cold. We love grilling, which is going to come really handy in Arizona
Oh
because
yeah, because you're gonna be the weather is just
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So grill, yeah, we love grilling. Like that's the number one thing.
So hopefully at our house this summer we're gonna have a Aces Full of Food barbecue. We're gonna bring some Mexican fajitas, some guacamole, all the good stuff.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah,
So we're definitely, hopefully, you'll be out there at that time, and we can go out there and have it. We're gonna invite some of our guests, some people. Should be fun. We're gonna try to get our fajitas from Brownsville,
hmm
and we're gonna try to get them sent over there for us so we can cook them up and chop it up.
we have a great like Mexican place here, man. Like Taqueria El Asadero, fire.
The fact that you tried to say that, I'm gonna give
Taqueria
you.
El
But you did
Asadero.
good.
Is it bad?
No,
It's
no, you did good.
it's fire,
Are you serious?
fire. I'm telling you, their steak. If you like carne asada, it's the best.
What are
That I
you grilling? Like with your wife? What did she grill today?
carne asada. Oh, today no, she did kind of I think she made like these kebabs, some more Middle Eastern stuff. Beef kebabs. She makes them actually really good, and yeah, I think that's all she. Maybe with some vegetables and stuff, but yeah.
Badass. All right. So this next segment we call calling the clock. I'm gonna rapid fire you questions. You got to give me an answer. If you take too long, I'm gonna call the clock on your ass.
All right.
All right. Favorite type of chips?
Um, hot Funyuns.
Damn, dude. I was If you would have given me three guesses, I definitely would have known guess hot Funyuns.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite type of sandwich?
Turkey provolone.
Are you a chips in the sandwich kind of guy?
Yes.
Wow. I'm learning so much about you, Michael. Favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Water.
Favorite adult beverage?
Vodka, soda with a splash of cranberry and some lime in there.
Vodka,
Soda,
soda.
splash of cranberry, and some lime in there.
What's the soda? Like just like
Soda
carbonated water?
plain, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no sugar in it, so
Favorite type of coffee if you drink it.
oh, my own house made espresso, iced with all the works. I have a $1,200 coffee machine, so we put it.
No, you don't.
I do. I really do. It's a Breville. It's all like digital, and I mean, we use it a lot because we used to go to Starbucks a lot, me and the wife. So it's come in handy because we don't go to Starbucks anymore.
What's your start? What was your Starbucks order?
It depends. I ordered usually frappuccinos. But if it was like it depends on the weather. So if it was hot, it was frappuccinos because they're iced and stuff. When it was cold here, it's obviously hot coffee, and it would probably be like a caramel macchiato.
And what's in your coffee? Sugar,
No,
Splenda.
no. I just use cream, but sweetened cream. So it's probably like hazelnut. I like hazelnut, my favorite.
That's
So it's
cute.
hazelnut cream, and that's it.
Nice. All right. Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Popeyes.
How do you like your steak?
Medium plus.
Oh, explain. Now I got a medium plus.
Yeah. So medium plus is between medium and medium well.
And do you say that at the
Yeah.
because I like that because I'm not a medium guy, but I'm not a medium well. So you say when you order your steak, you say medium plus, and they know what you're talking about.
Yep. Yep. All the good steakhouses will know. Yep. You learned something new today.
Wow. I mean, I could end the podcast now, and I think life would be great. You know. All right. Favorite fast food burger?
Ooh. Favorite fast food burger. Paradise Pub is really good. It's a local place here. But honestly, there's a burger place like half a block from me that's really, really good. It's a Greek restaurant. It's Backyard Grill. They have a really good burger there.
One of our sponsors, the Comic Cave. He asked, "Is there a medium minus?"
I that I, that I have no idea.
It's one of our sponsors for the podcast.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's pretty funny. Um, Okay, next one. You don't. Okay, I remember one time I asked you about Culver. I finally tried it.
Culver's, yeah.
It no, it's not, but it's better than like McDonald's and Burger King, and
Sure.
it's comparable to In-N-Out.
That's not saying a lot that it's better than McDonald's, but
No,
yeah.
it's comparable to In-N-Out.
Really? I like
100%.
In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out.
Don't start. Don't start. All right, tater tots or fries?
Fries.
Favorite chocolate candy?
Anything with like dark chocolate and hazelnut. I just love them. Hazelnut is just something that I love.
Hold on. Where do you even what candy is made with dark chocolate and hazelnut?
There's so many. Like mostly European made chocolates are dark chocolate and hazelnut. They have a lot of that. Like hazelnut is very big in Europe.
Wow, that's super bougie, Mike. Just so you know.
It is. It's what I like. I like here. I don't like milk chocolate.
No, at all. Like you won't have a Snicker bar.
I will, but I enjoy dark chocolate much more.
Okay. Favorite non-chocolate candy?
I don't really eat anything. I really don't eat candy in general. My kids, now you're talking different story. They like those Sour Patch, sour ones that are
the
huge.
sour worms. And
they're big Sour Patches. They're like this big, and my son just goes to town on those.
Favorite brand of water?
Ice Mountain.
Wow, Ice Mountain. Is that the green with the green cap?
No, it's white cap. I'll say this: I hate Aquafina,
with a passion,
and I hate the other one. They have like some weird taste to them that I will not touch. Dasani and Aquafina are terrible water.
People think I'm crazy when they say, "Oh, I ask what type of water they have, or if I can get a bottled water." But dude, I don't. 100%. There's a difference in tasting the water for sure.
Oh, yeah. They add. Somebody said that they add something to their water. I don't know what it is, but they do.
I'm sure. All right, here we go. Chips Ahoy or Oreos?
None.
Iced coffee or hot? If you could only choose one.
Iced.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Neither.
Okay, go. What?
Red Bull.
Okay. That's your favorite. Is that your favorite energy drink?
Yeah. I just love the taste. Not that it's like, yeah, I just love that. There's so many different flavors now too. Watermelon and stuff like that. Yeah.
Egg roll or spring roll?
Egg roll.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Favorite Hot Pocket?
None.
Favorite vegetable?
Mushrooms.
Bacon or sausage?
Sausage.
Subway or Jersey Mike's?
Jersey Mike's. Come on.
How
do you disrespect Jersey Mike's like that and put it even in the
Hold on. Sense? Bro, I just discovered Jersey Mike's this past WSOP because when we stayed at a condo and down the street was a Jersey Mike's is amazing.
I have one right down the street from me. Like literally I can walk to it. It's 5 minutes walking distance.
You're kidding.
Yep. They just opened it like a year ago. So
it's so good.
It's
like
awesome.
People don't realize
turkey provolone at Jersey Mike's is fire.
Dude, they don't understand. Like it's a tier. Like,
oh yeah,
there's Subway, there's like Jimmy John's, and then Jersey Mike's is just like not even close.
Everything is like better there. I don't know.
My wife we go to Disney World, you know this.
Yep.
But one of the best parts of that whole trip, there's a Jersey Mike's at the airport. And I'm taking one every time because the closest one's probably like 3 hours from us.
Oh wow.
Dude, it's so bad.
They're opening up more and more though, I think.
I hope. You have no clue. It's that.
Guess what? You have a future investment right there. Jersey Mike's in Brownsville.
Dude, I would love. I think Sean Deeb owns one.
Does he really?
Yeah, he owns one. I don't know where. I think he owns it in Vegas, but I think he owns a Jersey Mike's.
I thought about owning one, not Jersey Mike's specifically, but I thought of
a sandwich shop.
A sandwich shop, yeah. Yeah, one of my buddies, he has a sandwich shop that's near he's a poker player actually, Mike Vanderwood. but he owns a sandwich shop near Hammond, Indiana, right outside the casino. And I think their sandwich is actually better than Jersey Mike's, and it's called Capriati's. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
Capriati's is so good.
Well, there
Okay,
you go.
they have one in Vegas. That's where I've tried it too.
Okay,
Okay, so Jersey Mike's and Capriati's are on the same tier
I would
structure.
say so. I would say so, but I just love Capriati's. Has really, really
The
good
bread,
sandwiches.
their bread.
I never had it outside of when he told me, "Hey, why don't you just come by the place and try it?" And after I tried it, man, it's fire. I
Oh
like
yeah,
it.
it's so good.
So
It's
he has like 2 or 3 different locations now because
it's so good.
he's obviously doing well with it. So
That's awesome. All right, here we go. Uber Eats or Grubhub?
it doesn't matter.
You use both?
Whichever one delivers my food from the restaurant that I like.
Okay. You have any crazy credit card roulette stories?
Not really. I think the biggest one that it was with my buddy Joe. I believe I think we were here in East Chicago, and it was at the steakhouse, and I think the bill was like, I don't know, 700 maybe. And I think I got stuck paying it. I lost.
Really?
Yep.
I so I've ran pretty good in these. I mean, I can't run well in poker, but dude, there was a summer where I didn't pay for a meal because we eat
Wow.
dude, there was a summer every dinner break I did not pay for a meal. It was crazy,
I
bro.
think I've paid like 1 out of maybe 5 times.
That's good. That's a win.
Yeah, yeah. But the one time I paid, I think was the biggest bill by far, which
Dude,
is
it's funny because when people do it and you're doing it prior, it's like, do you order more? Do you order less? Or you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? What's your
yeah,
play?
yeah.
All right. This next part is called the bad beat segment. We talk about bad beats at a restaurant. Let me explain. So, when it comes to food, I love it, but I run so bad, Mike. You have no idea, dude. Like, so I've gone to restaurants where there's 12 people, all 12 people, all 11 of us get the food. I'm the only one not eating. They forget my meal. They, whatever. I run so bad. Or we'll get a to go order. Everyone gets the pizza they ordered. They forget my pizza. I've legit gotten an order at a wing restaurant, ordered wings and a hot dog. They bring me one wing. I promise you. One wing with garnish on top, just like that, sprinkled
What
like
the
that.
hell?
Promise. Those are bad beats.
I've
You
had
have
I've had a few. The
give me a
problem
good
with and the bad beat might be because of me, to be honest, because I'm very picky, like I said, and I kind of order off the menu, but I don't order off the menu, if you know what I'm saying.
oh, me too. But I mean, it's their
I
isn't
think
it their
we're
job?
the cause of this, I think, because they're not accustomed to my wife always says it to me, like, do you always have to be difficult? And I'm like, listen, I'm at a restaurant, I'm paying money for it. I want it the way I want it. But I will say I am kind of difficult because I'm kind of like, oh, can I get that? But can you minus this? But can you add that to my sand? But can you minus that? So it is kind of like partially my fault. But yeah, I mean it's their job to give us good service and get my order correct. But yeah, I don't kind of order off the menu, which is probably why I get some bad beats.
My mom is so I feel I have my mom's curse. My mom, you think I'm bad? She's the absolute worst. Like she's like the absolute worst. So, um, yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. How bad I run at restaurants.
The part where I run bad is when we take out, like let's say do a takeout. I call in the order. My wife, let's say, goes and picks it up. My wife is notorious for not checking the food. So she comes back home, open it up, and where's my sauce? Where's my this? Where's my it's always something is missing. So it happened with Buffalo Wild Wings not too long ago. They completely botched my order, put the wrong sauce in, didn't put me ranch, which I love. I can't like eat the wings without ranch.
I'm a blue cheese guy.
I call them, they tell me, oh, we're gonna give you a credit. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm not gonna drive all the way back to get, my sauce and my correct order, whatever. I call them the next time about a month or two later, and they took down my name, whatever. I gave it to them. I call back, and the guy tells me, "Oh, we don't do that." I'm like, "Excuse me?" Like, yeah, we don't take down names. I'm like, "Well, you can look up my order. I can give you whatever information you want." I go, "My order was botched, and I'm telling you that it was only these small things that were missing. It's not like I'm asking for like a whole." And this guy was a manager telling me that, I'm like, okay, I'm never ordering from Buffalo Wild Wings again. And that was it. I was so mad that this guy was calling me basically a liar over like nothing. I'm like,
But it's funny how like people or managers get into it, like they really defend, like if they know they made a mistake, dude, like it's just food, just give us the food, you know what I mean? Like get over it.
it's like,
It's
you guys told me to give me your name. You guys told me that you're going to give me some credit. And then I call back and you tell me, oh, that's nowhere to be found. And we don't even do that. I'm like, okay, well, your other manager doesn't know this, I guess, because he took down my name. But it was more principle than anything. And I'm like, I'm never eating at Buffalo Wild Wings again.
So I was 19. We were at spring break. We're at Whataburger. They customize your burger. I don't know if you ever heard of Whataburger.
Yep, we got them.
So grilled onions, line was long. We're at the island. It's 30, 45, maybe an hour wait. Finally get my burger, unwrap it. I take a bite. Boom. Awesome bite, bro. What? Look in, no meat.
No meat.
No meat. They gave me everything I wanted.
That's a bad beat.
That's a bad beat. I mean, that's I think that catapulted that just started the domino effect. And ever since then, it's been terrible. It's been absolute.
That's pretty bad.
And I feel bad for the wife because it rubs off on her. Like she'll be like, "Oh, babe, they didn't put the dressings for the salads."
Now, this might be a little shot at you. I'm not trying to make it a shot at you, but when they looked at you, at what point did they think that you wanted a veggie burger and not no meat in there? That's
never. That was the most disrespectful part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
When does this body look like? Does this body look like I don't need meat? I need every nutrient in this body to
exactly. What is wrong with those people? I would fire everybody on that staff immediately.
So we have a question from one of our viewers. He wants to know, I'm assuming what's the furthest you've driven for food, like a good spot?
Let me see. Oh, I actually drive we used to. I used to drive from my house. So downtown Chicago is probably 50 minutes, maybe.
Is that where like the Bean is and all the okay.
Yep. 45 minutes, maybe. On a good day, if there's no traffic, you can get there in 25, let's say. But I would drive there very often. My cousin owned a Middle Eastern restaurant down there, and it was by far the best Middle Eastern food. So I would drive down there, pick it up, and come back home very often. It's no longer there, but I don't really drive. Like, I'm not driving, 2 hours to go get food, because the thing with me is, like, I want to eat kind of my food warm and hot, like kind of fresh. So it kind of defeats the purpose if I'm driving an hour and a half or something one way.
Do you ever eat sushi, Mike?
No. You know what? I have, but like non like California rolls or whatever.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Not real sushi, like raw fish. No way.
I couldn't do that either. Like I like sushi. Don't get me wrong, but I like my shrimp to be cooked and stuff like that. Like it has to be like the fried shrimp.
I can eat those too. Yeah, but not like the real sushi eaters. No, they laugh at me because that's what I eat is not real sushi, I guess.
No, for sure. All right. If you can take any poker player, present, past, future, to eat, where are you taking them and why?
I love my favorite spot and my wife's favorite spot, and our very first date was hibachi. I love hibachi, man. So if you're not familiar with hibachi, it's a Japanese thing where they grill it on a teppanyaki grill. It's a flat grill. If you ever been to Benihana, is an example.
It's so good. Benihana's so good.
So that's our very first date, me and my wife, was Benihana. And we're going back there this Friday to celebrate her new job. And He's got a new job, so we're celebrating by going back there this Friday. Yeah, it's my favorite spot. I love everything about that restaurant.
That is awesome. And if you could take any poker player, who you taking?
Well,
Who's your
um,
favorite? Who did someone?
like my favorite poker player.
Yeah, like if you could say, "Hey, I want to, let's go have dinner, you and me. I want to pick your brain a little bit."
Honestly, don't have a favorite, but probably a guy like that's pretty cool, down to earth.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Oh,
Chance is good.
oh, really?
Chance is a nice guy. Yeah, I mean, I was part of their thing. He's pretty laid back, nice guy.
I mean, he's a crusher. He does crush.
They're a nice guy. But yeah, I mean, like taking someone like that, yeah, I'd probably take him. But to me, honestly, that's not something I would ever do. Honestly, it's
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not really one of those poker fans. I rather take you, Leo.
I appreciate that. We're gonna definitely go. We got many more meals ahead of us, Mike. I know that for a fact. I truly consider you one of my good friends in the poker community and in life. I mean, I call you for a lot of advice, a lot of stuff, and I'm very grateful for our friendship. And you've helped me tremendously on and off the felt. And it's very rare to find a friendship that has translated from poker to life and all that other stuff. And I really am grateful, and I appreciate you coming on, man. And it says a lot about you and about a relationship for you just to midday on a Wednesday come talk to me, come bullshit with me on the podcast and talk some stuff. So I really appreciate that, buddy.
Likewise, man. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, our friendship is great. People like you are they're not around very often anymore. So I try to hold on to good friends, and yeah, it's just you're a great dude, and I've known you for as long as I've known you. You've been a standout and great dude. So
I
yeah,
appreciate that, man. And
glad
that's all you can ask for in the poker community. You know what I mean?
it's nowadays, especially nowadays.
Exactly. Well, guys, if you want to catch Mike again on another podcast, Friday, 9 p.m., Lambo Place podcast, I'll tag him in everything. Go follow him. Go do all the good stuff. Not only is he a great guy, he's entertaining. He's actually kind of smart. I know it doesn't, you know, but he's actually a smart guy. And if you want to get some good MMA plays, definitely tune in and follow his Twitter account. And he posts a lot of stuff, a lot of good, insightful stuff. So, Mike, I love you, brother. We'll keep in touch. And thanks again for coming on, my dude.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Have a
Later,
great
buddy.
day.
You
All
too.
right,
Bye. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode 2. We'll be back Friday at 12 again. I will be releasing who we'll be having on later today. We'll be doing it at 12. And then that day we leave to Mississippi for the circuit event. We will have a podcast over there on Wednesday, and we'll be back Friday again. I really appreciate the love, the questions, the viewers. If we were at 59 subscribers to start the day today. If we can get to 100, I will do a $25 Jersey Mike's gift card and a hat giveaway. Jersey Mike's is my favorite sandwich shop. Jersey Mike's, if you're listening, you can sponsor the podcast. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in, that's giving me feedback, showing me love. Appreciate, very, very, very appreciative of all that. Love you guys. Have a great Wednesday and a great rest of your week. I hope all your orders are right and all your poker and all your aces hold up. All right. We'll talk soon. Leo signing off. Later.